Let's say that there is another city, and in that city, they might not be battling blood sugar with insulin. It might be another strenuous substance in the midst. We may not know what those substances are, but we know that maybe if we find out what these substances are, that we can find a key gene. We may find a key gene in both that substance and the insulin, or blood sugar to the other substance. This can help us find the cure for this strain. If we can battle the strain, we may be able to increase our lifespan and prevent aging. There have been many treatments for anti-aging, but not necessarily good ones. Some brief history. The Fountain of Youth. Many people have tried to discover it, but one of the most famous voyages is from a man named Ponce de Leon, Conquistador, who was the governor of Puerto Rico in the 1500s. He sailed the seas to find the Fountain of Youth, and in the process found Florida, which he thought to be an island. And boy was he wrong. Though Ponce de Leon did not find the Fountain of Youth, he did set a very nice standard for the future. People often wonder about everlasting life, which has brought us to genetics. Now we talk about genetic expression. Genes can express themselves over time. You may not have white hair now, but in the future, through genetic expression, you may obtain white hair, or no hair at all. Genetic expression can be treated through nutrition. There have been experiments to demonstrate the nutritional values of eating correctly. The field of scientists took some mice. Mices? What do you say?
Mice.
Mice?
Mice.
Okay. Some young and some old. The old mice were fed a specific diet. The old mice began to act younger, thus explaining that nutritional value rejuvenates the cells. You're making you a bit younger and more handsome like me. In other words, genes start speaking up with the help of nutrition. So, technically, diet can affect aging. Diet can replenish cells. Though diets and nutritional values might help, this doesn't exactly postpone the end of your life. Life is being looked to elsewhere. And other things. Brings us back to the sequencing of the genome. If we can unravel the genetic sequencing, we might be able to not only tell how long we have, but can increase our life span. The pros. We may genetically be able to alter their system so that kids don't have to go to school anymore. To give them all the knowledge they need for the future. That's really the only positive thing I can think of. Yeah, I have a pro. I have one more pro. I got one. Be considered a pro or con. I think it goes both ways. God, there's a hell lot of cons. Let's get started. Cons. Here's one big one. Overpopulation. There's an expression, every 2 seconds, a child is born and a person dies. Imagine that saying being, every 2 seconds a child is born, and every minute a person dies. Oh God. Again, this one can be looked as a pro or con. We could manufacture our own soldiers, creating many Rambos or Arnold Schwarzenegger-like figures to do wars for us, instead of having to risk actual people to do so. But people might not think that's a good idea. Another con. Pretty confusing one, so try and stick with me. I'll try and explain it the best I can. The next generation can be very different through alteration of genomes. I think that we can go in one or two directions. Let's say in one path, most parents don't decide to have their children genetically altered. People who do get their children genetically altered, you might have some social problems. There could easily be racism against genetically altered children. Now, we'll look at the other path. The other path, most parents will have their children genetically altered, and anyone who doesn't have their children genetically altered will be looked down upon in this road. Okay, that's all for me. This has been Doug, and this is Doug's show. Before I leave, I pose a question. What do you see in the future with the use of the genome? Theorize about what might happen in the future to us and the next generation to come. That's all for me. I'm Doug, and this has been The Doug Show. Bye-bye.
Aging and immortality. Nice. So fun, man. All right.
Anti-aging and immortality. Little flick. Yes. Is it flicking? It's getting in.
That's good. That's what I would say. Let's do this. Let's talk.
Okay.
Done. Yeah? All right.
Okay, ready? The human genome is stored...
Oh, no.
Okay, shake it off. I'm doing this.
Here we go.
This is gonna
this
happen.
Is it.
This is...
No, please keep going.